In this video, I'm going to show you how to unblock UK TV channels online from anywhere in the world, really. Now, as you probably know, UK TV channels are available online. BBC iPlayer, ITVX, Channel 4, Channel 5, they're all available online and they're all free, potentially, anyway. The problem is, if you're not in the UK, you'll get some restrictions. So let me just show you what happens when I go to... Let's just go to the bbc.co.uk website first. Now, if you're not in the UK, what will happen is you'll get redirected to this international site, which is like a news site. It's very good, but missing from here is the link to BBC iPlayer, where you can get all the multimedia and the TV programs and stuff like that. You can go directly to BBC iPlayer. Let's just go directly using the URL. And you can get to the site, and you can even have a little browse around. Here's all the live channels. There's sort of 11 or so live channels, which basically stream, most of them 24/7. A few aren't. BBC 3 I don't think is, or BBC 4. But the news channel, the 1, 2 is 24/7. And the archive. But unfortunately, if you're outside the UK, let's just show you what happens. If we go to BBC One and watch whatever's on live there, you get this message: this content is not available in your location. If you go to some of the archive stuff, let's just have a look at Doctor Who, the new Doctor Who. BBC iPlayer only works in the UK. Sorry, it's due to a rights issue. You'll get the same problem with ITVX. You just get an error code there. 0101, I think it says. It doesn't tell you exactly what's happening, but it's basically because you're being blocked because of your location. Now, the way this does this is by looking up your IP address. So it looks at your IP address and sees where your IP address is registered, and then if you're in the UK, fine, it works. If you're not in the UK, it won't work. So you can see, let's just go to this website here called gps-coordinates.org. This basically simulates what's happening. Nearly every website does this, and it determines, if you go to Google, it'll use your location to tailor your search results, which is probably good, really. If we go into gps-coordinates.org now, you can see my IP address is located in France and hence won't work. And the same thing will happen if you're outside the UK. It doesn't matter where you are, in the US, China, wherever, North Korea, but you've probably got other problems there. So let's just minimize this. And what can we do about it? Well, basically, we can't change our IP address. Now, our IP address is a network number that's applied to our computer or our mobile phone or our tablet when we connect to the internet. We have no control over it. It's assigned, as I say, by an ISP, or if you're connecting to a cafe or an airport, a hotel, a library, a school, business, whatever, the IP will be registered to the location you're in. So, and you can't change that. But you can use something called a VPN, which I'm going to show you now. A VPN stands for Virtual Private Network, and it's kind of an encrypted tunnel between your device and an intermediary server, a VPN or a proxy server, some people call it. And it encrypts your entire connection, but also hides your location. Now, let me just show you the one I'm using myself. Okay, so the VPN I use is called NordVPN. It's a pretty famous VPN service. There are thousands of these. Most of them do a great job at securing all your credentials. It basically encrypts all the data you send to and from the internet. So it's an extra level of protection, really, especially important if you're traveling and you use unknown internet access providers. So if you use that dodgy cafe or the library or a hotel, it keeps your data safe. But the advantage is that when you connect to a VPN server, it also hides your location. If you connect to a VPN server in the US, it'll look like you're in the US. If you connect to the UK, it will look like you're in the UK. Basically, the website will only see the IP address of the VPN server, and which is great for watching UK TV. So wherever you are in the world, you've got this simple program. It doesn't cost much. There's a link to the latest discounts if you want to use NordVPN. Be careful, not all VPN services work with BBC iPlayer. They had a big purge about 3 or 4 years ago, and they block most of them. So check first with a provider. NordVPN works great, and I'm just going to click on now and show you how it works. So I'm clicking on a UK server. Now I'm clicking on a server in my list here rather than just on the country. Because, let me just show you, NordVPN has got round this block that most VPN services have been restricted by allocating a special number of servers that they maintain access to the BBC iPlayer. Basically, BBC iPlayer blocks access to VPN services by looking at how many people are connecting on the same IP address. So if 10,000 people are watching Match of the Day on the same IP address, basically says you're a VPN server or a proxy server, and they block them automatically. Nord have just allocated a certain number of servers. They've got hundreds of servers, but these work best for BBC iPlayer and, in fact, all the UK TV channels. So I'm using one of those. I'll put the link to all the servers that you can use if you use NordVPN in the description below. Okay, so we're going to go back and let's go and watch BBC iPlayer now. And what did we try and do? We tried to watch the live channel. So let's click on BBC One now. And remember, we got an error message here. But now, hopefully, BBC iPlayer will just see the IP address of the VPN server, which is in the UK. Let's just click. And here we go, we can see Homes Under the Hammer or whatever it is works, and I can maximize that, cast it to my TV or watch it wherever I like. Let's just minimize that. Let's go and watch The Great Sewing Bee. Okay, so if we want to watch this program, this is from the archive. It was on last night, I think, and hopefully you can see this works perfectly, so we can stream and maximize it. The Great Sewing Bee. So we can watch anything. There's thousands and thousands, and I mean thousands and thousands of programs on there that you can watch perfectly well. And that's how you can access all of UK TV. Let's have a quick look at ITVX. Which is very similar to BBC iPlayer. It's an upgrade. It used to be called the ITV Hub. But again, you'll normally get an error message. It's usually 0101, which is code for you're not in the UK. And now I can watch, hopefully, live from... Yeah, it's just streaming now. Just have to click OK. And it's streaming now. ITVX is subsidized by advertisements, so you'll have to watch different channels, different advertisements. They're not too many. You can upgrade to a premium version here if you want. Here we're seeing the ITV News Live, where the Post Office inquiry is being streamed. And we'll just minimize that, and hopefully you can see it all works perfectly, because it thinks I'm in the UK. All it's doing is looking at the UK VPN server's address and saying, hey, he's okay, he's in the UK. Now, BBC iPlayer and ITV News and ITVX, you will need to create an account. You need certain things for that account. They're all free. You need a valid email address. You have to have a UK VPN set up before you go to the registration screen. I'll put the registration links below. You will be asked for a postcode. Any UK postcode will do. If you're struggling, there's a link below for a website that can give you a UK postcode. But really, any postcode can do. Find any business, anything online, and that will work. And they will ask you, have you got a TV license? You have to say yes to that. You can't buy one outside the UK. If you don't have a UK TV license, you won't be able to buy one outside the UK, but just say you've got one and it'll work. Okay, so that's everything really. I hope you've enjoyed that. I recommend NordVPN if you want to use my link below. I'd be very grateful. If not, try other VPN services. There's a few around, but be careful because 9 out of 10 don't work with BBC iPlayer, but they work great with other things.